Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. He's hungry, and he's thirsty. He has duct tape around each ankle. Yeah, there's sores around him. I think there's a good chance he's been...
He also has...
Oh, and he has been around his ankles. I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been... This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
You would think that this 12-year-old boy had escaped. You know, he'd been abducted and he was put in someone's dungeon and made his way out, and he was just looking for some food and some water. That's not the case. He's in a house with his mother. In a house with his mother, escaping from a house with his mother. Who's his mother? Ruby Franke. There she is. Got some pictures of her. Mother of 6, 41 years old, and one of those Mom-fluencers. Had a YouTube page in 2015 is when they started. I mean, millions and millions of subscribers and viewers. 2.28 million subscribers, 1,200 videos uploaded of the family, really of the kids. I mean, you look at these at the screen, every video is about what's happening to the kids, the kids, the kids. This was a woman, as a mom-fluencer, was trying to show how you should be raising your children. That was like her thing. And she's now charged with child abuse. Arrested August 30th, 6 counts of felony child abuse. Well, tonight, more information, folks, from the search warrant, the affidavit from the search warrant of the house where this 12-year-old boy escaped from. Upon arrival, officers found that a 12-year-old victim had duct tape around their ankles and appeared to be emaciated because the victim was abnormally thin and weak. Medical personnel removed the duct tape and located open wounds. The victim, remember, 12-year-old boy, informed officers and medical personnel that the wounds were from the rope that was used to tie the victim to the ground. The victim informed the officers that pepper and honey were used to dress the wounds. Are you kidding me? So they searched the house, they searched her phone and all the electronic communications, and they've arrested Jody Hildebrandt, who was a friend and fellow podcaster of Ruby Franke. Because that 8 passengers page, that's been taken down. A lot of controversy, but even more now. Unreal. Let's bring back in our think tank, Eklund Mercy, Kirk Nurmi, Holly Davis. Kirk, it goes from bad to worse. You're putting like pepper on open wounds from ropes used to tie a child down and then covered with duct tape?
Yeah, you know, Vinny, sadly, I think this particular incident is probably going to be just the tip of the iceberg of the kind of perverse parenting, I guess you want to call it, that Miss Franke was engaged in. Because keep in mind here, this boy was emaciated. He's running out to the neighbor. The neighbor makes a comment to the 911 caller that they've had problems with this before. The young child blames himself. So it tells you it's not the first time. This is probably a pattern of conduct from Miss Franke. And here she thinks she's this super parent. She probably feels invincible. She's got all these fans, so she's going to parent her way. And it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks of it. And I think we're going to really see, as this investigation unfolds, the kids are interviewed, et cetera, that there's probably going to be more charges coming, sadly, because this is likely not a starting point, but fortunately the end point.
Holly Davis, now it's not mom and dad who've been charged. It's mom and her friend and co-podcaster, Jody Hildebrandt. Mom and dad at this point were separated, and I guess she had the kids, and they're at Jody Hildebrandt's house. What are your thoughts about this case and this whole situation?
I mean, this is obviously a psychopath and a person obsessed with the control of parenting. And obviously, not every influencer is a psychopath and obsessed, but this woman is, you know, definitely obsessed with the control of her kids. But I'm a divorce lawyer, Vinny, and when you've got a mom that's got control issues, it's very rare that you don't have a dad with control issues too. And I understand he wasn't in the home. I have no information about his involvement in the case, except I've read that he's wanting the kids back. He thinks that the courtroom should be closed to the media and things like that. But I would be very, very curious to know if the dad had absolutely no idea that the mother of his 6 children had such terrible abuse issues. Your children don't get emaciated overnight. That is a prolonged and continuous pattern of abuse. And I would be absolutely shocked if this husband had no idea about what his children were suffering at the hands of his, I suppose, still wife. I believe they're separated, not divorced.
Yeah, separated, not divorced, correct.
Yeah. I mean, to me, there's obviously a reason why he's separated, and we're all curious to hear it. But I'm a little bit suspicious of any story that doesn't have dad aware of this pattern of behavior.
All right, Eklund Mercy, I am going to show you some pieces of the 8 Passengers show or channel from YouTube. These are some of their early videos, not some of the later ones, some of the early ones. Let's take a look, and I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I'm trying to make it sound beautiful, and it's not working.
You have been waiting for 2 years for today.
Welcome to my recital. I've been working on the songs for
Once a year on Thanksgiving, I want to at least see you in a half-decent shirt. That's not his school uniform. And you look handsome. And he doesn't want it to be recorded. Helping Grandma in the kitchen. Getting ready for our big feast. Boss, you guys.
Sherry turned 16 in March, and she is
Not
like
ready for us right now.
Okay, Sherry, come here. Sherry, are you looking more forward to dating or driving? I get the feeling that you are more like the typical poster child for the dad who is mean to the boys as they come to pick up the daughter.
Mean.
Now that she's turning 16 this spring, I'm like, oh my word, you really are emotionally ready.
See you guys later.
Eklund, anything strike you about those videos? Because I noticed something. You want to go first?
Yes, please.
I didn't see any children smiling.
Absolutely. A couple of years ago, I read something that stated that mental health issues are going to expand because of social media. And I think what we're seeing here is like a Munchausen by YouTube. Likes and views are addictive. People are addicted to it. And on top of that, you can get financed from it. So it's likes and views that are already addictive. And on top of that, you can make it pretty lucrative based on your followings. So it's a breeding ground for narcissists. It's just, and that edit button essentially gave them the world. So we're going to see more cases like this, unfortunately, because social media and because of the supply and demand. It doesn't matter what your house looks like in the back of the screen. What matters is what can garner the likes, what can garner the views.
Yeah, that's such a great point, Kirk. I don't know if any of this behavior actually happens, but for the ability to put it on YouTube.
Well, keep in mind, though, Vinny, we're not seeing the abuse on YouTube, right? We're seeing the byproduct of it. But my guess is that this was probably her parenting style even before YouTube came along. Maybe her kids presented out in public as great, and she decided to start this YouTube channel. And that is, as Eklund said, maybe a bit of narcissism, and it comes out. But I think whatever was there, whatever mental problems were there in the parenting style, I don't think putting videos together gets someone to a point where they're going to abuse their children, where they're going to emaciate them, and they're going to put them with duct tape. I think that's inside someone to begin with, and if they decide to actualize it somehow on social media, I think that's a different issue of narcissism, not the abusive personality.
So, Holly Davis, what do you think happens to the children, ultimately? The ones who are still not 18 years old?
I think they're going to be a part of this investigation. I think they're going to hopefully have a voice and say, who did this to you? And tell us more about the circumstances you were found in. And then I hope that the system does a good job. And I hope that the Child Protective Services in the trial is going to do a good job of giving them their voice. And then I think that they deserve to heal. I understand that the oldest daughter, who was not a victim of, or who wasn't found as part of this investigation, is wanting to sit in on the trial. I would expect her to participate. It'd be very interesting to see if she chooses to participate against her mother. But I expect we'll see that since she's about 20 years old. So I think this is something that the children deserve to have a voice, and then they deserve to try to heal.
Yeah, I saw, speaking of social media, I was flicking through today and I saw something that really stuck with me. He said, the definition of success, when your children as adults want to spend time with you. That's success. So I don't know if she's going to be successful.